Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard were dealt a harsh blow last year when the couple's first daughter died in utero. The little girl they named Isla Marie was laid to rest in April 2024 after she was stillborn. It was incredibly tough for the Dillards as they prepared to welcome their fourth child and first daughter. Jill wanted to share her moments while pregnant with Isla as the loss anniversary approaches. On Instagram, the Counting On star shared an ultrasound photo and video, and a bump photo with a half-eaten pickle, synonymous with the Duggars. As the date draws near, Jill will likely share more about Isla as she continues to honor her daughter. Jill Duggar shares how they believe Isla died. Jill Duggar was just 4 months into her pregnancy when the couple discovered that their daughter had passed in utero. She didn't talk much about what happened, as she was grieving an insurmountable loss. However, after sharing her recent Isla post on Instagram, Jill revealed what they believe caused Isla's death. One of Jill's followers asked, "Sheesh, do they know what happened to her?" Jill responded, saying, "I had all the testing. The most likely cause they guessed was that a small, fluke subchorionic hematoma, somewhat common, started to hemorrhage before either were identified." Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard were the first couple to discuss what happened in the Duggar family. They spoke out about not being paid for their time on 19 Kids and Counting On, which is one of the reasons they walked away from the latter in 2017. Derek attended Josh Duggar's trial every day. He watched as his wife and her sister, JANA Duggar, were put through a media storm following the revelations that Josh inappropriately touched some of his sisters and a family friend a decade before the police report was released in 2015. When Jill announced her book was being released, she received some pushback from some of her siblings. She didn't reveal who had issues with her, but she remains the family's black sheep. JANA Duggar excluded Jill from her wedding party, but did invite her to the wedding. Jill and her siblings appear to be strained, but her mom, Michelle, has shown up for her. When Jill needed support after losing Isla, she received it from some family members. As the anniversary of Isla's passing nears, the former reality TV star will likely need more. Jinger Duggar's brave decision to break her silence about her brother Josh Duggar and the spiritual struggles she says have haunted their family for years. For those of you who may not know, Jinger Duggar is one of the stars of 19 Kids and Counting, the reality TV show that gave viewers a glimpse into the lives of the ultra-conservative Christian Duggar family. But behind the carefully curated image of faith, family values, and homeschooling was a darker story, one involving abuse allegations, legal troubles, and what Jinger describes as demons within their household. This isn't just another celebrity scandal, it's a story about resilience, forgiveness, and confronting painful truths. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's unpack this together. To understand where Jinger is coming from, we need to take a step back and revisit some of the major events that rocked the Duggar family over the past decade. The Duggars rose to fame with their TLC show, which aired from 2008 to 2015. At first glance, they seemed like the epitome of wholesome family life, raising 19 children in a devoutly Christian home, homeschooling them, and adhering to strict rules based on their religious beliefs. But beneath the surface, cracks began to form. In 2015, explosive reports surfaced alleging that Josh Duggar, the eldest son, had molested 5 young girls, including 4 of his sisters, when he was a teenager. These allegations were shocking enough, but what made matters worse was how the family handled it. According to court documents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar knew about the abuse, but failed to report it to authorities immediately. Instead, they sent Josh to counseling and kept him away from younger siblings for a short period before allowing him to return to normal family life. Fast forward to 2021, and Josh found himself in legal trouble again, this time for possessing child pornography. He was sentenced to over 12 years in federal prison, further tarnishing the family name and leaving many wondering how such things could happen in a household so focused on morality and faith. Now, here's where things get really interesting. For years, Jinger remained relatively quiet about these scandals. She distanced herself from the family after marrying Jeremy Volo, a former professional soccer player turned pastor, and started building her own life outside Arkansas. But recently, Jinger decided to open up in ways she never had before. In interviews, podcasts, and even social media posts, she's addressed the trauma she experienced growing up in the Duggar household, and specifically, the role Josh played in shaping her childhood. Let me share some of her most powerful quotes with you. One of the most striking things Jinger said is that she believes there were demons inside their family, not literally supernatural forces, but toxic patterns and behaviors that went unchecked for far too long. She talked about feeling betrayed by Josh, not only because of the abuse allegations, but also because of how his actions affected the entire family dynamic. Growing up, Jinger described living under constant scrutiny, with every move monitored and every mistake punished harshly. This environment, she says, left deep scars that took years to heal. Powerful stuff, right? Jinger also admitted that forgiving Josh hasn't been easy. She acknowledged the anger and hurt she felt toward him, but emphasized that holding onto bitterness wasn't helping her move forward. Instead, she's chosen to focus on healing herself and protecting her own children from repeating the same mistakes. One thing that stands out in Jinger's journey is how her faith has evolved. While the Duggars are known for their rigid interpretation of Christianity, Jinger has taken a more nuanced approach since leaving home. She's spoken openly about questioning the teachings she grew up with and redefining what it means to live a Christ-centered life. For example, she no longer believes in the extreme modesty rules or the idea that women should submit unconditionally to men. Instead, she focuses on love, grace, and mutual respect in her marriage and parenting. When it comes to forgiving Josh, Jinger says it's less about excusing his behavior and more about freeing herself from the weight of resentment. She explained, "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or pretending everything is okay. It means releasing the hold someone else's actions have over your heart." It's clear that Jinger sees this process as ongoing, a daily choice rather than a one-time event. Unsurprisingly, Jinger's revelations have sparked a wide range of reactions online. Many fans applaud her courage and transparency, saying her words resonate with anyone who's dealt with family dysfunction or abuse. Some have even called her a role model for breaking free from toxic environments and finding peace. On the flip side, critics argue that Jinger isn't going far enough. They feel she's still defending aspects of the Duggar lifestyle or downplaying the severity of what happened. Others question whether speaking out now serves any purpose beyond generating publicity. Personally, I think it's important to remember that healing is messy and complicated. No one gets it perfect, especially when dealing with something as heavy as this. What matters is that Jinger is using her platform to shed light on issues that often stay hidden, and hopefully encouraging others to seek help if they need it. So, what can we take away from all of this? Here are a few key lessons I've pulled from Jinger's story. Healing takes time. Whether you're dealing with betrayal, abuse, or simply growing up in a dysfunctional environment, recovery isn't linear. It's okay to stumble along the way, as long as you keep moving forward. Boundaries are essential. Jinger has set clear boundaries with her family, including limiting contact with certain members. This shows the importance of prioritizing your mental health, even if it means distancing yourself from loved ones temporarily or permanently. Faith can evolve. Your beliefs don't have to stay static. If something no longer serves you, it's okay to question it and find a new path that aligns with your values. Forgiveness is for you. Letting go of anger doesn't mean condoning bad behavior. It's about reclaiming your power and refusing to let someone else's actions define your happiness. And finally, you're not alone. Stories like Jinger's remind us that even people who seem to have it all together are fighting battles we might not see. If you're struggling, reach out to a trusted friend, therapist, or support group. There's strength in vulnerability. Jinger and Jeremy Vullo have been eagerly awaiting the arrival of their second child after welcoming their firstborn, Felicity, just over 2 years ago. And what better way to celebrate than with an intimate yet stunningly themed baby shower? Let's dive into the details. We wanted the theme to feel timeless and elegant, but also personal. We chose a Garden of Grace theme because gardens symbolize growth, beauty, and new beginnings, things that resonate deeply with us during this season of life. My mom actually helped me plan everything, and she did such an incredible job bringing the vision to life. The color palette was inspired by nature, soft greens, blush pinks, and touches of gold. Every detail, from the invitations to the favors, tied back to the garden theme. One of my favorite elements was the flower wall we set up for photos. Everyone loved taking pictures in front of it. While the decorations were breathtaking, the real magic of the day came from the people who attended. Friends, family members, and even some surprise visitors made the celebration extra meaningful. One of the biggest surprises of the day was when my sisters-in-law flew in from out of town to be there. They've always been such a huge support system for me, and having them present meant the world. Seeing their faces when they walked through the door brought tears to my eyes. Another highlight of the afternoon was the games. From guessing the baby's weight to filling out advice cards for parenthood, these activities kept everyone entertained while adding a sentimental touch. I'll never forget reading the advice cards later that evening. Some were funny, some were heartfelt, and all of them reminded me how blessed I am to have such amazing people in my life. Parenting can be overwhelming at times, but knowing I have this village behind me gives me so much peace. Of course, no baby shower is complete without opening gifts. And let's just say, baby Vullo is going to be very spoiled. I was blown away by the generosity of everyone. People really went above and beyond. One of my favorite gifts was a custom-made quilt embroidered with Felicity's name and the baby's initials. It's something I know both kids will treasure forever. Jinger also received several handmade items, including knitted booties and a crocheted blanket from her grandmother. These thoughtful touches added an extra layer of love to the celebration. Being a mom has been the greatest adventure of my life. When Felicity was born, I had no idea how much she would change me, not just as a person, but as a wife, daughter, and friend. She's taught me patience, unconditional love, and how to find joy in the little things. And now, preparing for another baby feels surreal. I'm nervous, excited, and overwhelmed all at once, but mostly, I'm beyond grateful for Jeremy, for Felicity, and for this new little life we're about to welcome into our family. This baby shower wasn't just about celebrating the upcoming arrival. It was a reminder of how far we've come and how much God has blessed us. Every gift, every hug, every word of encouragement reinforced that truth. I left that day feeling so full of love, hope, and gratitude. To everyone who made this day possible, from the planners to the guests to the people watching right now, I want to say thank you. Your kindness and support mean more to me than words can express. If there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that community matters. We weren't meant to do life alone, and I'm so thankful for mine. If you're watching, and you're also expecting or navigating parenthood, I want to encourage you. It's okay to feel uncertain or scared. It's part of the process. But remember, you're not alone. Lean on the people around you, trust your instincts, and take it one day at a time. You've got this.